IncGamers Plays.
Hello and welcome to IncGamers Plays A Valley Without Wind, the latest one from Arcen Games, who did AI War and the many expansions for that game, and also the game Tidalis, or possibly Tidalis. I was talking about this with Tim yesterday. He called it Tidalis, and I thought, you know what, that's probably how I should have been pronouncing it the whole time, rather than Tidalis. But this is A Valley Without Wind, and before you ask, yes, there is wind in this game. In fact, there's quite a lot of wind. The title refers to the fact that these survivors of a great cataclysm would quite fancy living in a valley without any wind. Personally, I think that might be a little lacking on airflow, might get a bit warm, but they probably want it to be warm, because as you can see, there's quite a bit of ice around. So what we're going to do is, it's a difficult game to explain, to summarise. I guess you could say it's difficult to pigeonhole, which is generally a good thing. So what we're going to do is just take a look around, play a bit of it, and that should give you an idea of what it's like. So it's telling me to press E to view things that I should do, which seems like a good idea. So this is a nice list of just kind of friendly pointers as to something you might fancy doing. It's a very open game in the sense that you can roam around the whole map. Your general objective is to cast out the overlord of each continent. You'll also probably want to defeat his 3 lieutenants, because if you don't, the overlord is harder. And you know, why would you make it harder for yourself, eh? That would just be silly. So these are the kind of things that goals I might wish to achieve to move me closer to overthrowing the overlord. I can try and get an apothekineticist of skill level 3, or get a couple of tier 3 ranged spells. My spells are down here. Got quite a few, but I've only got a couple that are tier 2, and I need some tier 3 ones because well, the enemies out there are a bit more dangerous now. So that's okay. And I reckon it'll be a good idea for me to learn Fireball 3, which I think I actually have the equipment for. So let's go over here. This is the spell crafting bench. Fireball 3, ready to craft. Let's go for that. And you can see the kind of ingredients that I require for this. You get these by basically exploring. You can get them sometimes as rewards for missions. Other times you can just go exploring in caves and caverns to kind of mine them. Also in houses in the case of clay. Get that from vases in the hallways of buildings. And so on and so forth. So let's learn that. Excellent stuff. And then let's move that into my kind of primary attack. So there we go. Fireball 3, good stuff. What else should I be doing? Well, I should probably be getting another tier 3 offensive spell, but let's see, how about getting the apothekineticist? There are some good names in this game. There's like a lumbermancer as well. I always wanted to be a lumbermancer when I grew up. Explore the world and keep an eye out for secret missions to rescue an apothekineticist. Well, I don't think, unless we're very lucky, I don't think that one's going to necessarily just pop up. So let's go and have a look at the world map and see what we can see. So yeah, this is the top-down world map. Each one of these squares represents a little region with a different type of terrain. So where I'm at right now is desert, Ice Age plains, this is a abandoned town, evergreen forest. So yeah, we can see dotted around here on some of these there are missions. This one, for example, is a boss tower. Shows you the rewards that you would get for this. This is a fix anachronisms in building mission. Let's go and take a look at a boss tower mission. Now that we've got the Fireball 3, we should probably take that out. Now, because it's a mission, you generally find the entrance pretty quickly, but I've been here before, so it's fairly well explored. And yeah, these buildings here, you can go inside. Before I take on the mission, may as well show you this. Here's a bad guy. we'll zap him. And yeah, you essentially can look around, scavenge in buildings. This is where I found the, not this particular building, but in the buildings you find stuff like clay, which I needed for one of the fireball spell. And you can see on the map places where I've been. It was like a stash room that had some good stuff in it, so I had a look there. Just gonna have a look in this hallway because I haven't been here yet. There's a skelly bot centurion who I can't really dodge his projectiles, so I'll just pop under here for a second. Well, I probably can just take that damage, to be quite honest with you, and take him out. Excellent. And here's a upgrade stone. I've only got 6 of those right now, which is probably not enough to upgrade anything. You can use upgrade stones to improve your health, your attack, your mana, all of which are useful. If you die, of course, you lose those upgrades, but that is pretty much all you lose. Permadeath is kind of a feature of this game. This is my 3rd or 4th character, I think, in this little session. And yeah, you lose those upgrades, so you go back down to kind of base health and mana and stuff, but you get to keep all of the spells, so the Fireball 3 that I recently crafted, that would stick with me, as would these enchants that I've been exploring for and locating prior to this video. So anyway, let's go and have a look at this mission now. Boss towers are pretty straightforward. It's just a big old vertical tower, basically. You fight your way up, and you have to take out the bosses as you go. And these guys aren't bosses, they're just regular little minions. The green stuff flying out and going into me is health, by the way. You regain a bit of health every time you kill a monster. Alright, so let's proceed to boss room 2. Wasn't too impressed about the... see, some of the... you will find that some of the wallpapering, especially in the interior of buildings, is a little interesting in this game. Not too good, essentially, but I have addressed that in my review. The full review is up on IncGamers.com right now. You can go and read that. In fact, you should read that. Meanwhile, not right now, obviously, you're watching this video. I will try and deal with this boss. I don't think that's the boss, that's just a guy. Yeah. I'll take him out too. Where is the actual boss? Oh, there it is. It's gigantic. Of course it is. Why would it not be? And already I'm getting kind of crushed here. That's not good. The enemy quality just went up because I completed enough missions that it kind of raises the bar, as it were, for enemies in the all the areas of this continent. So, oh Christ. I think we'll just stay here and try to dodge around the place and shoot him while he's off camera, because that seems like a wise idea. It's working fairly well. Health is going down, and we should get a decent health boost from this after killing him. He might be resistant to fire or something as well, which is... I don't really want to get close enough to try and find out. Hurrah, he has been slain. Come to me, beautiful health. Excellent. So that is one boss down. So we continue with our investigations of the building. This is just one of the mission types in the game. There's a whole bunch of others. You can get like stealth assassinations, and kind of battleground conflicts where you have a bunch of guys at a base and you're trying to rush across and destroy the enemy base before yours is trashed, which is always good. This is a bit of progress towards an enchantment. There's these things here that give me stuff like falling damage immunity, which is pretty useful, and reduced mana costs for spells and things like that. Now I see something shooting at me here. Take that out. get another one of these. Just a little message log there telling me I'm about halfway to getting another enchant. There is another one here, but I'm going to crack on with my mission. It's a game which certainly doesn't force you to be a completionist in any way. You're not supposed to like look at every single nook and cranny in every building. In fact, that would take you a long time and be quite boring and tedious. It's kind of in the review I've called it focused free roaming. It's like you can go everywhere, but just because you can go everywhere, it doesn't necessarily mean that's the best idea in the world. It gives you plenty of pointers about where it might be a better idea to go. And leave me alone. Oh, he's actually doing fire is actually doing extra damage to him. Marvellous. Well, I like that. Just I thought it was doing extra damage. Oh, there we go. Boss number 2. You are gone. Health is back in the green. That's looking a bit better. Oh, that was a bit unfair, leaving a guy in front of the door for me. I think you are actually invincible if you go through a door and just stand there, so that is quite handy. Finish this guy off. I'm using mouse and keyboard to control this. Mouse aims the spell, which can be a bit tricky sometimes if you try to aim up here and you click the message log by accident or the bit of the inventory or something. You can play it purely with keyboard too, and with a 360 gamepad controller. Not sure if it's compatible with other controllers. I don't have another one to test it with, unfortunately, but there's another little guy waiting for me. There we go. This is the 3rd boss. In these boss tower missions you also have to kill three mini bosses. 1, 2, 3. And here is number 3. So let's oh, hello. Those things there are like monster nests. They will spawn other monsters. I can destroy them, but it takes an awfully long time with the spell selection I have right now, so I tend not to bother and just take the punishment. This guy... oh crap, I'm almost dead. That's not good, that's not good. Let's kill this guy to get a bit of extra health. And then hopefully finish that guy off, also to get a bit of extra health. Tremendous. Pick up a couple more enchantments. That spell I'm using there is the Storm Dash, by the way. Pretty handy for zooming you across the map. Okay, so I think we'll now be pretty close to the victory room, which will allow us to exit the tower. So we've gone through a couple more bits and pieces. Finished off a couple more of these skelly bot enemies. There is more variety in the enemies, by the way. This is just what's in this particular building. I have also been attacked by like rhinos and eagles and weird wispy elemental energy particles and stuff. And I'm sure there's many more in the different realms different areas that I haven't seen at this particular point. There we go. Walk out of the mission area. Head back to our base camp, and there we go. That was a mission in A Valley Without Wind, and see if we got anything that will help us to craft a new spell. Not just yet, but maybe I've got another spell that's near completion. Missing one ingredient for Storm Dash. What am I missing? What am I missing? Citrine. So, the next quest that I could go on if I wanted to Storm Dash 3 would be to locate some of this, which I would find most likely in the desert. However, our video ends here. As I've said, check out the full review on IncGamers.com, and as ever, read the site because it's full of IncGamers.com-y goodness.